Are you ready to respect the D, Keefe?
I choose the 5th. No, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Respect the D.
Yeah, I do.
Respect the D,
absolutely
Keefe.
do. I always do, Jones. You know that. That's one of my mantras. I get up in the morning and I scream it from the mountaintops. I am with Kayshon Boutte on this. It's a good defense.
Respect it.
Yes, I respect it very much.
You don't have to like it.
I tip my cap to it.
You don't have to like it, but respect it. Kayshon Boutte, really?
Yeah.
Speaking on behalf of that Patriots defense, which has put the Patriots just one game away from returning to the Super Bowl. And my question is this defense good enough to carry them all the way to a Super Bowl? And you guys can jump in here today, 617-779-7937. Interact, Twitter and Instagram, at Jones and Keefe. You can watch along and chat, twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Always, and I mean always, a healthy chat going on Twitch. Do the same on YouTube. Watch there, chat there, subscribe to WEEI. It's a Tier Tuesday. We're going to tier off quarterbacks for the next 10 years.
QBs.
What teams are in the best position?
That's right.
What teams are in the worst position? Who needs to start over? Who's getting a little shooketh about their QB situation?
I can think of a couple recently.
I think most of the Patriots' playoff schedule belongs there.
I'd say
so that's at 11:30. We'll also talk to Tommy Curran from NBC Sports Boston on a Tommy Tuesday at high noon. And, of course, a Key for Madness for you at 12:45. So a busy Tuesday. Patriots defense has been unbelievable, Keefe.
Yes.
Incredible against the Chargers. In some ways, even more dominant against Houston this past week. Is this defense good enough to carry them all the way to the championship?
So I would say yes, but I think in 2025, 2026, defense, don't get me wrong, is extremely important. I wonder, though, if a team can just simply win on defense, and I guess my answer would already be no, because look at Houston. You know, if a team could only win on defense and only needed the defense, Houston would have won last week, and they would be maybe the favorite going forward, right? You'd say Houston's really good. Now, you could, on the flip side, you could say if the Super Bowl ends up being Seattle versus Denver, then maybe we have a different answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it is going to be Seattle versus Denver.
Me
I think
neither.
it's more likely to be New England versus L.A., and New England does have a great defense, but they also have the guy I think is the MVP at quarterback. So, like, they have an offense. So even though, you saw the Sunday's game is actually a great example of it. You had two really, really good defenses on the field. One team's offense could still make some plays. One team's couldn't, and then who won the game? So, like, I know everyone's like, oh, well, defense wins championships. It's like, yeah, I feel like you can count it on, like, one hand, and I feel like it's getting further removed, right? Like, maybe back in the day that was a tried and true mantra, and I'm trying to think of the last example of it, and people are going to be like, well, the Pats against the Rams.
No, that was
a game, right? Yeah, you're what you're talking about is a little bit different. Like, carry them all the way there.
Carry them. That's the key, too.
Yeah,
carry them, which means Drake May keeps playing like he's played.
Yeah.
And the offensive line, Will Campbell's been miserable. Can't protect him, right? So that's what that means. Can the defense carry them all the way to the Super Bowl? And all the way to winning a championship? I'm skeptical of that.
Well, so you know what's interesting, though, is like it's a little bit different because in the game against the Chargers, you would say that was defense, right? Like, the offense didn't even just show up that day. They would have won the game on defense. They needed offensive plays, obviously. They needed Drake May to throw the touchdown to Diggs, throw the touchdown to Boutte, but the defense was great. Now you're looking at a AFC Championship game against a backup quarterback. So there is a chance where the defense dominates again, and we look at it and we say, wow, the defense was better than the offense for three straight games.
But here to me is the trick. If you think a defense can carry a team all the way to a Super Bowl and carry a quarterback who's not playing well, let's face it, May is not playing great. He's not. He might be playing better than a week ago. I think he was better against Houston than he was against the Chargers. He was very, very good in the second half against the Chargers, but he was miserable in the first half of that game. And May hasn't been what he was in the regular season, which maybe you'd expect. He was an MVP candidate in the regular season. You're facing better competition. You're facing better defenses. Maybe you'd expect that. That's fine. But he's just not playing as well as he was. If you think a defense can carry a quarterback all the way to winning a championship, well, in some ways, you're making a case for Denver this weekend.
Yeah.
And in some ways, you're making a case for, Seattle on the other side.
Right.
Like, the Seahawks, they could carry Sam Darnold all the way to Super Bowl too. So if you really believe that about the Patriots, and I don't think the defense is going to carry them to a title. Not with May playing like this, not with the O-line protecting him or a lack of protection for their quarterback. You're not going to win like that. You're going to need May to elevate. You're going to need the offensive line to start protecting him. You're going to need that to win, is my belief.
See, I think they could win Sunday this way.
They might be able to do that.
Yeah. I don't think against Seattle or the Rams.
I don't think so either.
I don't think against those teams. I think because it's a backup quarterback against another team that is, I shouldn't say another team, but a team that is very defense greater than their offense, then I think you could still, we could be talking on Monday, they won 16-3 again, right? Like the same kind of game like against the Chargers. Like that is a possibility. Then we're looking at it, but then you're going to need way more against even Seattle, right? Because they have the best maybe receiver in the league, and their offense is certainly better than Denver's without Bo Nix.
Seattle has everything except the quarterback.
Yeah.
And maybe Darnold will keep proving us wrong, and he'll win a title, maybe. But I think they have everything but the quarterback.
Yeah, but
and I think that's why they won't win.
But if you face the Rams, like I don't think. I'd be surprised if you won, scoring 16, 17 points.
100%. Yeah. So, look, if you think a defense can carry a team to a title, then you are making a case for Denver, and you're making Denver's case on Sunday. I was reading Mike Reese today, Bragg.
Wow.
And
got to get up pretty early in the morning to do that.
Denver, I said yesterday, I think the number was 68 sacks they had.
Yeah.
In the regular season, he tacks on what they've done in the postseason. So 71 sacks in 18 games. That's first in the NFL by 14 sacks. And we mentioned yesterday that Denver's the number one team in terms of sacks. Number 2 and 3 were Cleveland and Atlanta. You faced them both in the regular season.
How'd that go?
They both got Drake May 6 times.
Eesh.
In both of the playoff games, the Chargers and the Texans have gotten Drake May 5 times. But they led the NFL by a whopping 14-sack margin. The Broncos' 68 regular season sacks set a franchise record. Defensive lineman Zach Allen led the NFL with 47 quarterback hits. That's 8 more than Myles Garrett. You saw what Myles Garrett did.
They got a guy who hit the quarterback more than Myles Garrett.
Denver's red zone defense is second in the NFL. It had 5 games in which it did not allow a touchdown. Furthermore, Denver totaled 7 takeaways in the last 2 games, including the playoff game. And, by the way,
might be a big field goal game.
And maybe this is the most horrifying part of all of it. They have a great pass rush. Will Campbell has allowed 10 pressures, tied for second most in the NFL, and 4 sacks, most in the NFL, in the last 2 games, according to ESPN's NFL Next Gen stats.
I don't know if PFF is in the end-all be-all. Would you like to know Will Campbell's grade from Sunday? Passing grade, anyway.
Oh, well, they said he was the best offensive player last week. And hang on, I don't know this number yet, but I saw they had Morgan Moses as like the offensive player of the week in the whole league. They claimed he didn't allow a pressure, and I'm like, I saw pressures and sacks that he gave up.
Morgan Moses, fumble that he was responsible for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we can.
Anywho, so
what
was his grade?
The grade I saw yesterday was 16.5 pass blocking grade last week. I didn't know it went that low.
That was like my calculus grade in high school.
Well, that was like they were saying C.J. Stroud's QB rating was like 28. They were like, if he just dropped back and threw the ball on the ground every time, it would have been a 39.
So,
whoops.
I guess it's a long way of saying, and it's going to be a challenge against the Denver defense. But
for sure.
May and the Patriots offense made plays against what I still believe is a better defense in Houston last week. I think Houston's defense was great. I think you made big plays. I think they made you earn it. Whether it was a 4th down conversion to Pop Douglas, whether it was a big catch by Steph Diggs hanging in there and taking the hit, or the tremendous one-handed catch. I know not everywhere realized that was a one-handed catch.
One-handed grab.
But it was a tremendous, all-time great Patriots postseason touchdown catch. And you needed to make plays like that against Houston just to get the win.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to do that. I just don't think May and the offense can keep playing the way they have. 21 offensive points last week. It was 16 the week before that. So what is that, 17 or 18 points?
Yeah.
Maybe that gets it done against Denver because of Jarrett Stidham.
I think it does.
You can't win a Super Bowl that way, though. So my answer would be no. Even as good as this defense has played. And I think they have been overlooked. And if they want to be angry about that and, have an axe to grind because of it and they're motivated by it, good. Use that.
Yeah.
But are you good enough to carry this team all the way to a Super Bowl? No, you need your quarterback to play better.
Yeah, no, you definitely do. And that's why, and maybe on the other side, maybe that's what Seattle's looking at. Like maybe they're going to be a version of a team, because you and I don't believe in Sam Darnold. So if they make it to the Super Bowl and if they somehow win the whole thing, I guess that is the example that a defense still can do it. The question, I guess, is can this Patriots team do it. And that's why they are, I think, so good. And we were sort of half joking about the Dale scale, because the Dale scale takes into account what you do on offense, how many points per game.
We bastardized the Dale scale.
We did.
We didn't
work.
stay true
No,
to the real Dale scale.
The true Dale scale is where you rank points per game on offense and points per game on defense, and you add that number together. And so that really goes to show you like the real complementary football. And some of the best teams the Patriots have had that won Super Bowls were like, single digits when you add that number together. And that's the same thing this year with the Patriots. They rank, top 5 in both. So that's pretty good. So the offense was still better than the defense if you're basing it strictly on points per game. I know there's a million other stats you can look at. But the defense is still really, really good. And that's the thing, is anytime you have one side of the ball that's really great, you just can't have the other let you down completely. Right? Like the Atlanta Falcons, when the Patriots played the Falcons defense, weren't they like the worst defense but the best offense? So it was like, you know what I mean? Like you got to a certain point where like, all right, you need a little bit more complementary football. You can't just have one side carry the entire way.
No, and the Patriots, I think, have pretty good balance.
They have great balance.
But is this defense going to carry them to a Super Bowl? My answer would be no.
I do think they are underrated, though. Like I think
100%.
Them kind of crowing about that is so true, and it's the way this is lined up because Houston and Denver specifically, all it is like, holy smokes, this is like the 85 Bears. They go crazy, and you're like, Patriots defense is not that far off from those two defenses. They might not have all the Pro Bowlers. They might not have all the All-Pro guys.
And I think that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think outside of Gonzo, who
that was it.
I don't really think deserved the Pro Bowl nod that he got, but he's played great in the postseason.
As good as Gonzo is, I think there are many, including All-Pro voters, that are like, well, Patrick Surtain's better individually. Derek Stingley's better individually. Yeah. So then he gets sort of pushed. So now your best player isn't even the best at that position when you're comparing them to the other great defenses.
So I think that's where they get hurt. But as a unit, they've been phenomenal. And they probably are underrated. I've personally underrated them, and maybe I'm doing it again. This is Marcus Jones, by the way, yesterday on WEEI Afternoons, making big play after big play. I said Gonzo's been great in the postseason. Yeah. Marcus Jones has been great pretty much all year, and 2 great playoff games out of him. He says, the defense does have a chip on their shoulder, and they're playing with a little extra edge on Sunday.
Did you guys use that as motivation? Did you guys play with a chip on your shoulder yesterday?
Yeah, man, I can honestly say we always play with a chip on our shoulder. We get overlooked, and it is what it is. I mean, we always talk about controlling what we can control. And then just stay from there. We know that we're one of the top defenses in the league. And when it comes down to it, we're just proving ourselves right. Like we're not really thinking about the situation of proving everyone else wrong. It's like control what we can control. And we know that we're one of the top defenses in the league. So we're proving ourselves right.
Okay. So that's Marcus Jones yesterday. If you missed any of it, it's on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can go back and listen to Drake May and Marcus Jones on afternoons. You can catch Mike Vrabel yesterday morning with the Greg Hill Show. And, of course, you won't miss a second of Jones and Keefe. Use the Rewind feature. Hunter Henry, Christian Ellis, both were excellent yesterday. Get it on your phone. It's free. It's easy. And you can take it with you wherever you go. 617-779-7937. That's your phone number. The question today, is the defense good enough to carry this team all the way to a Super Bowl championship? Which means they're going to carry May. They're going to carry the offense. The offensive line is going to struggle. Will Campbell will struggle. And the defense will continue to carry them. My answer is no. Keefe is a yes, but.
Yes, but.
So we'll get to all your thoughts on this. Again, at 617-779-7937. It is a Tier Tuesday, tearing off quarterbacks over the next decade at 11:30. I think Drake May is going to do well there. Tommy Curran of NBC Sports Boston on a Tommy Tuesday at high noon, and a Kiefer Madness for you at 12:45. Plus, right after Trending with Billy Lanny, let's get to Drake May and the turnovers. Can the Patriots withstand that right after the update?